Sea anemones are famous for their association with clownfish, but these interesting animals are more than just another's abode. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes, each with its own unique traits. These colorful creatures may just teach us a thing or two. Read on to learn about the sea anemone. Description of the sea anemone. Most sea anemones are made up of a base and an oral disc surrounded by tentacles. The base is a stalk that connects the animal to a rock or other surface. The oral disc is the sea anemone's version of a face. It has a flat surface with a mouth in the middle and prey-catching tentacles around the edges. Sea anemones come in virtually every shape, size, and color. Interesting facts about the sea anemone. With so many different varieties, it's difficult to choose just a few fun facts. Sea anemones are as colorful and varied as they are specialized. Each species gives us something new to learn. The first one, surrounded by species. There are over 1,000 known species of sea anemone. Some of the most popular are magnificent anemone, aggregating anemone, giant green anemone, beadlet anemone, snakelox anemone, clonal plumous anemone, and the giant carpet anemone. The second one, clownhouse. Only 10 species of anemone house clownfish, and each species is only compatible with a specific clownfish species. The anemone does not sting the clownfish, and the clownfish has an extra mucus or slime layer for protection from chance stings. The third one, obliged to survive. Paired clownfish and anemone species are so specialized that they have become obligatory symbionts. This means that each animal benefits greatly from the other and is less likely to survive without them. Clownfish remove parasites, keep the anemone clean, and chase away fish that try to eat its host. The anemone provides a predator-proof home for the clownfish to hide in. Fourth one, true variety. Anemones come in virtually every color, from brilliant blue to striking red. They can be found at almost any depth in the ocean, and they range in size from just a few centimeters to 6 feet wide. Habitat of the sea anemone. While they can be found in nearly every marine habitat, the greatest numbers occur in the tropics. Tropical seas rich in nutrients and ecosystems support the greatest variety of anemones. Distribution of the sea anemone. Sea anemones can be found virtually worldwide. Some species are adapted for life in cold Arctic waters, but most live in tropical seas near the equator. Diet of the sea anemone. Sea anemones use their stinging tentacles to capture prey. They feed on crustaceans, small fish, and occasionally mollusks and sea urchins. Stinging tentacles. The stinging tentacles of the sea anemone provide a method of capturing prey, as well as protection from predators. The tentacles are quite similar to that of their close relative, the jellyfish. Tentacles are lined with stinging cells called cnidocytes. These cnidocytes eject tiny venom-filled harpoons, called nematocysts. The toxins in the nematocyst are used to immobilize or kill the anemone's prey. Sea anemone and human interaction. The sea anemone and clownfish pair have become a highly sought-after commodity in the aquarium market, and demand from private collectors has even depleted some wild populations. These colorful sea creatures are also quite sensitive to habitat destruction, both from direct human activities and pollution. Domestication. Sea anemones can be bred in aquariums, but they have not been domesticated. Does the sea anemone make a good pet? Saltwater aquariums require lots of maintenance and care, but they can be a good fit for the informed aquarist. With the proper research, sea anemones can make a good pet, albeit hands-off. Always ensure your anemone is obtained through captive breeding. Sea Anemone Care. Ensure your sea anemone has the correct surface to attach to, as different species have different needs. The various types need different amounts of light as well, so it's important to have the correct wattage of light bulb when setting up your tank. Anemones need to be fed missid shrimp, scallop, shrimp, or mussel tissue, and the anemone size will dictate the amount of food needed. Behavior of the sea anemone. Most sea anemones are sessile, meaning they attach to a surface and remain fixed for long periods. Any movement is extremely slow and requires a time-lapse camera to view. These creatures ensnare prey that comes within reach of their stinging tentacles. After being paralyzed, the prey is pulled to the sea anemone's mouth. Reproduction of the sea anemone. Sea anemones can reproduce both sexually and asexually. In sexual reproduction, the anemones release sperm and eggs into the water column, where fertilization occurs. In asexual reproduction, the opposite gender is not needed. They can either split in half, grow another anemone as a bud, or simply break off a portion of themselves to grow an additional anemone. Cool facts about sea anemone. First one, sea anemones are powerful predators. Although they may look like sea creatures that don't do much, sea anemones can pack a serious punch. They are powerful predators despite being mostly sedentary animals. Sea anemones feed on a variety of prey organisms, including plankton, mollusks, crustaceans, and fish. In rare cases, large species of sea anemones may even feed on larger animals, such as seabirds. The second one, sea anemones can be parasitic. Despite most sea anemone species being successful predators in the ocean, some species also act as parasites on other marine animals. One notable example is the 12-tentacle parasitic anemone with the scientific name of Pichia quinquecapitata. This species is parasitic on certain species of jellyfish. When the jellyfish ingest the larvae of this parasitic sea anemone, the larvae first eat the food particles in the jellyfish's digestive system. As the anemone grows, however, it will begin to feed on the jellyfish's gonads, and later move on to their other tissues. Once the anemone develops into adulthood, it will detach itself from its host, and live independently on the seafloor. The third one, they can actively change their shape. Although they don't move around much, sea anemones can be quite animated creatures. Their muscular bodies are extremely flexible, and they can even turn their stomachs inside out. Moreover, they can fully retract their oral discs and tentacles inside of their bodies. Their tentacles also have muscle fibers that have vertical, horizontal, and diagonal orientations. This gives the tentacles a wide range of motion, allowing them to lengthen, contract, twist, and bend. The fourth one, the sea anemone's mouth also serves as its anus. The anatomy of a sea anemone can be rather odd. For instance, their mouths serve multiple purposes, not just for eating. Their digestive system only has one opening, which means that their slit-like mouth also functions as an anus. What's even weirder is that these mouths also function as reproductive organs. Sea anemones eject their eggs, sperm, or larvae through their mouths. The fifth one, they can live up to 80 years. Sea anemones prefer to take it slow. They grow at a slow pace and typically live quite long. Some species reportedly can live for decades. The magnificent sea anemone, for example, has been known to survive more than 80 years in captivity. The sixth one, some sea anemones are edible to humans. Although a few species of sea anemones can pose significant dangers to humans, most species are harmless, and some are even edible. The snakelox anemone, for instance, is a valuable delicacy in southern Italy and southwestern Spain. Spanish locals call it hortiguillas de mar, and typically marinate the anemones in vinegar, coat them in batter, and deep fry them in olive oil. The seventh one, they are popular among aquarium hobbyists. Besides some species being edible, many aquarium hobbyists that have reef aquariums also keep sea anemones as ornamental pets. Sea anemones add an attractive variety of colors and textures inside the aquariums. Most species are quite sensitive to changes in temperature, pH, and oxygen levels, however, making them challenging to keep alive. Their popularity in the pet trade can be a problem for sea anemone populations. Most specimens of sea anemones are harvested in the wild, and this can lead to overhunting in some areas. So, today we are talking about some details about coral reefs. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.